guys, welcome to a new video. We're gonna be working in the garage today for most of the time, I think, because it's just really cold and crappy out. It doesn't look like it through the window, but it's like freezing rain out there. It's just, I think it's like 48 degrees. Not a great day to be working outside, but we've got the garage and yeah, so it's nice and warm in here. Anyway, last video, I think we left off where we didn't have the socket big enough for the clutch basket right here. I went to Menards and got a 27mm socket, so we should be able to take off the clutch today. And then that means we can take off the oil pump and everything on this side of the motor, which will be nice. And then the next step is going to be to get the flywheel puller. That's coming in the mail. It's taken longer than expected for some reason. It always does when you actually need the part. But yeah, we'll get the flywheel puller. But I'm pretty sure right now, what you can do is punch out this side of the case. So what we're gonna do is try to take up the clutch and then try to get the case split around here and actually split apart this side. And this side will have the crank on it. And then once we get the flywheel puller, we can take off the flywheel on this side and disassemble the crank. But there's a couple options for the crank. A lot of people were saying don't use the hot rods crank, use an OEM crank, and the OEM ones are really hard to find. There's a couple of used ones in good condition, which I might go that route because cranks are like, for a crank kit with bearings, it's like 350 bucks. I didn't know they were that expensive. That's just insane for just a crank and a couple bearings. Like the Wiseco kit, I think was like 350 on eBay. That comes with all the gaskets, the crank, the bearings. That's just the bottom end. I've got a couple OEM ones lined up that the people say the bearings are good, the rod bearings are good, and now I might just order some OEM bearings for it. So we could just get the crank, a used crank, and then order some bearings for it. I think that might be the best route. I trust that over the hot rods. Everyone is saying don't buy hot rods, so I guess we're not gonna go with the hot rods crank. We're gonna actually put the eBay cylinder back on it, I think. It's literally perfect. There's no scoring whatsoever. So I think the piston was doing a good job. Here's the old piston. I think it was doing a good job. It just had a bad rod bearing, so it couldn't really perform. So we're gonna put that back on. If it blows up again, we'll get a brand new kit for it, but I'm guessing it won't. People have had actually good reviews on the eBay kits. They say they last forever. One guy I was talking to said they lasted for like 3 years, so we'll see. We'll put that back in. If we're having troubles, we'll tear it back apart, but I'm thinking it's gonna be fine. Today we're gonna be looking at the valves. A couple people in the comments again said maybe you have a bent valve. So we're gonna take these off. We're going to replace the valve seals and take a look at the valves. Underneath isn't too bad. There's not too much carbon on these, so that's a good sign. Stay tuned, let's get right into the video. All right, we got the 27mm right here. Fits on here perfectly. So we should be good to go there. We're gonna pack some paper towel or like a towel in here so that doesn't move, and then just kind of hold it and then crank that thing off. All right, we're gonna see if this thing works. Gonna crank this off. Don't wanna get your fingers stuck in there either. Voila! That came right out. Sweet. Awesome. The little towel trick worked. That was good. Spacer. And there's a spacer underneath that. Alright, this gear was in there with the out on the up, this down, washer, nut. Clutch can come off. Now we can get the oil pump off the rest of the way. 10mm right here. Oil pump can come out. And you're gonna have this behind there, fits right in there. This little guy. We can inspect the oil pump. There's these things right here. So if you twist these around, you can just look for wear. Everything looks good. No metal chunks or anything. Alright, we're going to leave this guy in. This is the gear shifter. We can leave this in and then all the gears will stay connected. We can take this out. The guide. Bolt with a little spacer in there. That can come out. Cam chain can come out. So this is going this way. I'll be getting a new cam chain, but we'll see. Alright, take the chain out of here. There's an oil filter right here. Take that out. Look at that. Check that out. These are all metal pieces. It's just crazy. And that saved your oil pump right there. But you can see all the bearings just were shaved in there. So, if you guys have any shavings in your machine, check out this filter. It should catch a lot of it. Alright, now it looks like we're ready to split the cases. There's 8mm all the way around right here. One right there, one right here, and then on the other side there's a bunch. Alright, we're gonna split the cases here. We took out this guy right here. There's one bolt right there, and one right here. And then I think that's it for that side. I'm going to take this guy out too right here and put that in my bag. All right, I'm gonna be using a Tusk case splitter. There's 3 legs to it, and it comes with 6 of these legs. You can position them anywhere you want, but you can see it's hollow in the end of it, and this goes in and out like this. What you want to do is just put these in here, twist them in as much as you can. All right, then basically what you're gonna do, take a socket and twist this thing. This thing goes, this thing goes clockwise, so you're gonna twist it clockwise, and these legs are gonna pull that case up while it's pushing down on that rod, so it should pull the case up from that rod. So it's 17 millimeter. And you saw that pop. You saw that pop right there. I'll get a different angle for you guys. Right, give it a couple taps with the rubber hammer. All right, we're inside. You can see the transmission right here. Just looking at all the gears, making sure they're not worn out or anything. I'm not gonna take this stuff apart, but you can see the shift drum and everything is good in here. Nothing super worn out. Bearings actually feel pretty good too. Yeah, bearings seem good. No wear really. No crunchiness or anything in there. Let's see. Everything looks pretty dang good. Check out the crank here. We can really check it out once we get the flywheel puller, but for right now, oh my gosh, that's just horrible. The bearings seem good, but the rod bearing is where it's at. All right, we're inspecting the bearings here on the rod, and if you look at this, it's kind of deceiving. You twist it around, so watch. And then it gets locked up. Look at that, right there. Locked up. Yeah, there's a little play up and down, and then it just gets locked up when you twist it around. And you saw the metal and the filter, the oil filter, so those bearings are definitely almost gone. Crank seems good though. Everything seems pretty good on this thing. It's really smooth. I don't really know if there's supposed to be play like that though. Leave a comment down below, is there supposed to be play like that? I think that's crank bearing right there. Not too sure. We're gonna order up new bearings anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, let's look for metal shavings in here and clean those out. Nothing so far. Yeah, no metal shavings in there. Let's check over here. Oh, there's one. Big metal chunk. All right, after about 30 minutes of scraping off the gaskets, we're finally done. You can see it turned out pretty good. Still have to go over it and just clean them up one more time, but so far so good. We're gonna move on to the valves. We're gonna take these out, see if they're bent, replace the valve seals, because a lot of the time valve seals are the culprit of the quad smoking. So we'll change those, even though mine didn't smoke. It's a pain to take it all off again, so we'll change it right away and prevent future problems. So what we're gonna do, since we don't have the valve seals yet, is we're gonna take these out, clean them up a bit, make sure they're not bent. So we're gonna draw a little diagram here. So just kind of a rough picture of the cylinder. This one's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and 4. You guys can see that. So we're gonna take this one out first, put that in bag 1, take that one out, which is number 2, put that in bag 2, 3, and 4, and then keep them all separated, just so that when you put them back and reinstall them, you're installing the same valve. And that's really important because it won't seat correctly down here. You can see how they form to here. I'll be using this valve compressor kit. I think it was like 20 bucks online. Basically all it is this guy, and then you pick the 2 ends that are gonna fit over your valve, like so. So probably not that one. Well, actually that'll go on the bottom. So grab this guy. Just at the end of it, that'll click right in. And then the one with the hole, go on this side. All right, we're gonna start with the first valve first. You can see I have it lined up here on the first one, and then the back to the back side, the valve right there. So we're just gonna compress this now. and you'll be able to see it kinda. Let's change. Get those little clips out of there. There we go. These are holding the valve in. All right. Now we're just gonna take this off. Goes like that. Like that. And you push that through the bottom, and you can see it comes out right there. And the valve seal is sitting right here. See if I can zoom in and show you guys. This would be the valve seal right here. And here's the valve. You can see it's not bent. Perfectly straight. Really not a lot of carbon on it. That's not going to take too much to clean up. Pretty nice looking valve right there. Then we're going to go around, do all of them, and I'll show you guys if we've got any bent valves or anything. But that's basically the process, pretty easy. Second valve off, looking pretty good, same as the last one. Not bent at all. Barely any carbon on there. Looks really good. On to the third. All right, number 3, looking good, nice and straight. Barely any carbon on there. So definitely looking pretty good. Couldn't find any issues with 1 through 3. On to 4. All right, fourth valve, nice and straight. Barely any carbon. Good to go. You can see all 4 valves are out of there. And then we labeled them. We labeled them all in the bags right here with the diagram. All right, we can see that there's a little bit of carbon in these ports. It's really not bad though. What we're gonna do is take a Dremel with a little wire brush, clean those out. But yeah, you can see pretty dang smooth in there. Nothing to be worried about. All right, we've got the old seat right here. You can see it was just straight black. Wasn't the worst seat in the world, but it does have a couple rips in it right there. You can see. And to get this seat off from the plastics, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 millimeter bolts. And then this latch will come off. So let's do that, get that off of there, and then start working on getting these staples out around the seat cover. Our super expensive plastic comes off. Lifting up all of these staples. All right, old seat cover came right off. Check out the foam. Foam's in excellent condition. Looks pretty good. Seat cover was pretty crappy on there, so we'll throw that away. You gotta pick up all the staples. Gonna be left with all these old rusty staples. Throw those away. Alright, new seat cover. I took a poll online and everyone wanted the two-tone black and gray with the Honda logo, so that was on my Instagram, 2_vintage_ if you guys want to go check it out. There's a lot of behind the scenes on there, so if you guys want to see the newest bikes I pick up and stuff, it'll be on my 2Vintage account. Also created a Facebook group called Two Vintage ATVs, Dirt Bikes and Quads, I think it's called. I think we've got like almost 400 people on there, so definitely go hit that up as well. I'll leave a link in the description for all those things. But yeah, we'll put the seat cover on here quick. Usually I start out with the front. So what we're gonna do, lay that up on here. Make sure it's the right fit. And then we'll begin stapling in the front. Put a couple there, a couple in the back, then wrap it around the outside edges. And then you're gonna have some wrinkles. We're gonna take the heat gun and finish off the rest. All right guys, seat cover's all good to go. No wrinkles on that bad boy. All right, let's reattach it to the plastics. All right guys, all bolted back up. See what it looks like here. Oh yeah, looking pretty dang sweet. That's gonna look pretty awesome on this quad. Let's just get a little picture of what this thing's gonna look like. Oh yeah. Gonna look pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's gonna look pretty sweet. All right guys, just sold the 450. A kid named Hayden came over and bought it. He's a subscriber of Two Vintage, I believe, at least he knew me. Who knows if he's subscribed or not, but he bought the 450 and I took it for a test drive and ended up buying it. So good luck with the quad, Hayden. Thanks for buying it from me. It's a Honda, so it should last quite a while. And yeah. So anyway guys, I think that's going to be it for today. We got the seat cover installed, we got the cases split, we got the valves checked out, and everything is looking pretty good. We just have to wait for the flywheel puller, and then we can take the crank out, and then I think we're going to get a OEM crank and bearings for it, slap it back together, hone out the cylinder, and we should be good to go. One last step that we have to do before putting it back together is getting the old gaskets off and then getting that bolt out of the head, which is always fun to get these broken bolts out. But other than that, I think it's ready to be put back together after we get the new parts, and it should be pretty fun to do. If you guys need any motorcycle, ATV, or scooter parts, check out lap2.com. Lots of good parts up there. We just got Vortex chains in, so if you guys want a Vortex chain, I actually might order one up for this, because we're probably gonna need some new sprockets and chain. But I think they're like $100 for the whole kit, front, back, sprocket, and O-ring chain, and you can choose multiple colors. I'll leave them up on the screen right here, but they're pretty sweet. So definitely go hit up Lap2, buy your Vortex chain. We work with a seller named Chris, who is in contact with the company and sells for them. So that's how we got those up on the site. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned on this build. It should be up and running in no time, and I'm looking forward to the process. Until next time, we are out.